This question is from Emily. She says, I'm finding backgrounds scary. Do you have any handy tips for where to begin? I love my pencil and ink sketches, but as soon as I think about the background in colour, I feel like I freeze up and worry, how do I make them feel more achievable and doable?
Is this a picture book person?
I think so. I just guessed. They could be anyone.
My mind jumped straight to our chat with Chris Haughton the other day, where he was struggling with colour. He really had a thing about colour. He said he wasn't intuitive about it and he couldn't do it, which is crazy when you look at his work now. His colour is so incredible. And I remember him saying that he scanned in a black and white drawing, put on Photoshop, dropped in a colour in the background, and then what did he do in Photoshop? He upped what you talk about this, Tania, and I can never remember the term.
Something threshold.
Pardon?
Is it a threshold?
Yeah. Would that be the right word?
Could be. I really don't know.
He did some magic. He did some magic in Photoshop, of which I'm not sure what he did. And then really loved what came out when he had his black and white drawing with this colour thing he did on Photoshop. And then he realised backgrounds don't have to be realistic. They could be any colour. Just because it's a green grass background, he can think like a designer and do a magenta pink background. And that was a massive breakthrough for him. So maybe this illustrator is thinking what backgrounds should be rather than what they could be if you let go of preconceived ideas about picture book. If this is a picture book person, picture books have got to have lovely detailed backgrounds with loads of stuff going on. Maybe you're not that kind of illustrator and you're more of a miffy illustrator like Lucy Cousins, and you've got a mouse with a plain primary colour background, maybe a horizon line and a plant and a butterfly in the sky.
Just linear. It doesn't have to be tackled with the same attention to colour or detail or rendering that you've used with the character that you've created. We're presuming it's a character. It usually is with picture book, isn't it? The more you put in the background, the more you'll lose the character. So you've got to try and keep the space and the structure in the image, haven't you? So less is more, basically.
Now, sometimes I'll have done a detailed colour background. Like there's something in the story that means the background needs to have a lot of stuff going on in it. But then what I do is I think of the background as a whole. So the whole background might be tonally very similar. So the character might have like a bright red dress on and yellow tights or something. So they pop forward, but the whole background might be like beige or grey or lilac with little tiny bits of colour in. I might have the red from the dress watered down a lot and use some pink in the background, but something about either tonally the colour of the background or the way I hold my pen in my hand is different. So the character, I might hold the pen quite firmly and it might be a stronger line, and then the background, I hold the pen so it wobbles about a bit as I draw the background. So
or it's a thinner line, isn't
it?
You want things to recede behind the character. So it's either low contrast, like the greys you talked about, or the line is much thinner than the line you use on your character. So it looks like optically everything's going towards the back and it's cooler colours that recede, or just less detail. The same way we look across a landscape and you can't see much detail as it recedes through the hedges and the fields and the trees until it's just simple silhouettes. So even silhouettes of things.
I'm thinking about, Katie, we sometimes talk about how if this person works digitally, backgrounds can become difficult because you've got that evil zoom in tool.
Yes.
I have to really resist if I'm working digitally going anywhere near that zoom in.
It's so hard because it's so tempting to like, just zoom in.
And I'll draw a bird very carefully on the tree and then you pull out and your eye is just drawn straight to that.
Look at that tiny fiddly bird right in the background. Begging to be looked at. It's so hard. I think as well when you look at picture books or other people's work and it has got really detailed full backgrounds and you might think, I've got to do that. That's what a background is. But it's sometimes just like a hint, isn't it? Like sort of something to anchor them, give a bit of context where they are.
I'd get into a bookshop and pull out loads and loads of books and just have a look at how other people tackle backgrounds. Because I think often in picture books, I don't know why this is, but a lot of people think backgrounds have got to be detailed.
Oh, that's the worst thing you can do, isn't it? You've just got to figure out, what do you actually need? Is it a door that someone's about to come through, or a landscape, or a staircase, or whatever? And only focus on the essentials, unless, of course, you're a hyper maximalist and your work is all about details, a bit like Katie Bell. Yeah.
Our mentee from the one-on-one mentoring session thing.
Yeah, that's it. We had 4 mentees.
Oh, yeah, she was like a jigsaw illustrator.
Like,
her work was
Wally?
so detailed. Yeah, like Where's Wally? Where's Waldo? With all the crazy detail in the background. Yeah, that was amazing, that.
You could tell how much she enjoyed doing that level of detail.
She loved it.
Yeah.
She loved it.
And maybe that's, if your book is about creating big immersive spaces for kids to get lost in and point out lots of different things, then you're kind of flattening the space down and making everything come to the foreground. That's one way of working. But if you're trying to just hint at backgrounds, you don't need all that information. Oh, I've just lost my train of thought. There's something I was going to say about backgrounds without repeating myself. And it's totally gone. I'll just shout it out randomly in a minute and interrupt you.
Tania is half lying on the sofa under a weighted blanket, so we need to be kind to her.
Katie's brought her weighted blanket round for me because I can't sleep at night, and I thought, well, I'll just give it a little go now. But clearly my brain power's fading and I'm about to fall asleep any minute now.
That's your parasympathetic nervous system. You're feeling soothed. Squashed like you're in the womb again.
We just talk amongst ourselves while Tania tries
to... Oh, I know what it was. It was the technical workflow thing. So if you work a little bit digitally, or you've just got you only need basic digital skills for this, without risking your lovely character on that page and drawing things behind it and it going wrong and then you're ruining the whole illustration. If you can sort of semi-collage those things in like a trial, a lot of people do that, don't they?
Yeah.
So that it's a low risk approach to a large scenario, that you can have all the different elements on separate layers. Or if you work in analog, maybe collage them a bit with bits of paper and place them in and out until you've got the right balance of elements in the image. So your character and your central action isn't overwhelmed, but you don't have to do it in a oneer.
That makes me think of, that could even be the approach for the final artwork. If you think of John Burningham, where he'll draw or print a really painterly, amazing landscape or a sky or something, or a wilderness. Or I'm thinking of his book, Harvey Slumpenberger's Christmas, one of my favourite books, because he makes you say the word Harvey Slumpenberger so many times you can barely speak. It's brilliant. Anyway, so Father Christmas is on this mission to deliver a present to a little boy, because he gets back after his huge Christmas Eve trip, delivering out to all the presents, and he finds he's got one left in his bag. So he has to go back out and he has to do this huge journey. And it keeps saying Harvey Slumpenberger had to go up the roly-poly mountain. I can't remember, but you say the word Harvey Slumpenberger a million times. And all the backgrounds they look like, painted in 2 minutes with a big fat brush and a bit of 2 different coloured inks with a bit of paint in it. Some of them look a bit printy. And then the character of Father Christmas looks like it's drawn on a separate piece of paper and cut out. And every spread, Santa is cut out of a piece of paper and stuck on these incredible bagggrounds. Wow. It's so good. Because then when we did the one-on-one mentoring session the other day,
somebody was cut it out.
Her work was wonderful. Rachel Bayliss. Gorgeous work. Reminded me a little bit of John Burningham in that it was so full of emotion. And it had a printed element and a little collagey and painterly element. And this is what I was saying to her. Please go away and paint some really big painterly backgrounds and plonk your characters on and have a look. That could be the final artwork.
I love the DIY sound of that.
Yeah.
Just that sort of speed of saying, I've got a background here. I'll cut the character out roughly and put him on, and that is finished. I mean, the joy in seeing quick handmade things now, rather than overwrought, over-rendered, complex perfection.
That's the thing with John Burningham as well. He's all about the feeling and the emotion and what that bit of the story, what you need to feel, what that bit of writing is doing. And I always think he looks like he's just focusing on what does this picture need to do? And even if the drawing is weird and the hand's too big and the knees are too knobbly or whatever's going on, as long as it's telling the story, he is, yes, that's it. He's so brave in just leaving things slightly wrong because they're doing exactly what the story needs, whatever needs to be told on that page.
Yeah. He's not got the curse of final artwork.
He has not. Yeah.
It's that kind of cavalier confidence. And sometimes previously we were talking a couple of podcasts ago about what if you don't like the style that you think you have discovered and that you're boring? Your work bores you. Sometimes it's as simple as seeing something brave, almost risky, spontaneous and handmade, and just saying, yeah, that's it. Print 20,000 of those. That is the finished work. And when you see something like that just thrown together, it's like, wow, that work's thrilling.
Yesterday, I listened to the newest Blindboy podcast, and it's called something like A Message for Artists. It's that episode if anybody wants to go and find it. But in there, he's basically saying, as an artist, what you should strive to do, he's not even saying just accept this as part of the process, is fail. So don't just accept failure as part of the process, but on your venture to make something, decide. He said he sits down at his desk to write his new story, and he says he'll think, well, I should write a story about this. What would happen? And he gets in his head about it. So then he thinks, I am definitely going to fail. So what I'm going to do, and he gives a great example, and it's something like, oh, what does he say? Oh, it's something like pull the other man's trousers down or something ridiculous. And he says as soon as he's had a ridiculous idea that is definitely a fail, then he's completely free to play around in that space. And then he's off and he's writing, and all he's doing is messing about because the purpose is to fail. And then you accidentally don't fail. So I really like how he's not saying accept failure. He's saying try and fail. Yeah,
because then you're doing
brilliant.
Something.
Yeah, then you're doing something and you can edit it and fix it later. Yeah.
It's all about action, isn't it? Do something rather than do nothing.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to hope for perfection from yourself that you become paralyzed. You don't do anything and you avoid doing the work. But I think that continual making and doing and not assigning a huge amount of value to the things. I'm saying all this. I don't know whether I can really do it myself because I haven't been making enough recently. But yeah, just playing and saying nothing is to be used as a final piece. Yeah, building in the failure really makes sense.
Yeah,
it's like self-sabotage.
I really love it. You said you're not sure you do it yourself. I'm not sure I always do it myself either. I think we're lucky when those times arrive when that happens, aren't we? It's not something you can just arrive at and do all the time. It's like art club. I feel like that happened at art club all the time because we were against the clock.
Sort of manufactured art club to do that, didn't we? It's like, who can I make loads of bad work? Let's go. Yeah. And everybody was ready for it.
And then made the best drawings.
Yeah.
Oh, I still want to make the big Good Ship Art Club illustration exhibition and get everyone to send in their favourite pieces of work they did from that, because I think that lift of pressure, just people created so much good stuff. Yeah. Each session you'd have one drawing that you were actually proud of.
Yeah.
And surprised you.
Yeah.
And then a big pile for the recycle bin.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't put them all in recycling. You did some amazing drawings, especially when you drew yourself looking like a lemon head.
That one survived.
I love that drawing.
And Helen's legendary scary granny child.
Yeah, old lady baby.
My old lady baby self-portraits. It's so weird. Accurate. Old lady baby turns up all the time. I even turned up in real life when we were at Bologna and somebody took a photo of us.
Yeah, in this photo, Helen embodied old lady baby.
Old lady baby. Do you remember the photo, Tania?
I think I do remember you seeing that. There was a really scary picture of you.
My hands doing something
funny. You look like you'd become monitor, milk monitor or something. You've been given some
power's
power.
Gone to my head and I don't know what to do.
Like, oh! Old lady baby.
Art club, we need another art club. Is there one soon?
Yes.
Anything planned?
Yes, because we're going to launch the picture book course soon and we're going to have 2 art clubs around that time, and I've forgotten the dates.
Yeah, me too. If you're on our emails, which you should be, if you're not, if you go on our freebies, just go on thegoodship.com, thegoodshipillustration.com, and scroll to the very bottom of that first homepage. You can join the emails there, but we'll announce it, and we'll be on Instagram talking about it as well.
It's in the next few weeks.
Yeah, end of June.
Yeah.
2020.
So we'll have a couple of art clubs around that.
The time is ripe for art club, isn't it? Yeah. Let's make some scribbles, some throwaway scribbles.
Yeah.
Okay, so see you next week.
Bye.
See you then. Bye.